All right, welcome in. Welcome back to the BFR podcast presented by Sports Mockery. My name is Dave, cover the Bears for SM. Joined by my good friend, Chicago Bears content creator Ficky, and of course our producer Jack is on the sticks, and he's going to be participating again. I think it's just like you're every episode now. Honestly, I think is the case, which is great. People love you, at least some of them do, and so that's why we got you on the show. So, anyways, Bears, Lions, Thanksgiving. Are they going to ruin it for us? Probably. But first of all, before we get to this game preview, we also have our mailbag questions coming up. So we got 10. We selected 10. You guys sent in so many. We selected 10 of the best. We didn't want to duplicate either. We're going to actually throw those up on the screen. We got new what is it? GFX? What do you call it?
Graphics
overlays that will highlight and show you your username and the question, of course. So just to give you guys a little bit of some shine on the show. But again, Bears versus Lions Thanksgiving is what we're going to get to. Our predictions, our bold takes, and of course our score predictions along with our headlines for, I guess, Friday. So Ficky, before we hop into all this, man, how you doing? Have you recovered?
Yeah, look, we've been down this road before. So
it's
I mean, we've literally been down this road 2 weeks in a row. So like, if you can't recover yet, that's more about on you. Like
that's on you, buddy.
Like I'm not the head coach of the Chicago Bears, so I actually know how to adjust. So after a bad loss like that, I know how to deal with another one coming up.
That was good.
So yeah, I'm doing fine. Plus, it makes it 10 times better when your quarterback balls out. So it's different. We would be in a much different headspace, a much different mood coming into this episode if it was Caleb Williams had 102 yards, a pick, and then we lost, right? But it's no, Caleb Williams went for 340, almost 400 total yards on offense and was throwing some passes out of this world. So I will take that any day for this season since we know it's over. So as long as he continues that up, and we'll talk about his pace for 4,000 coming up here soon. But as long as he can keep that up, I'm going to be in a good mood. But how about you, Jack?
Yeah, I'm sort of in the same boat. Like, first of all, I've had a lot of people like message me, like friends, family, whoever, be like, what are you thinking about the draft? And like, what's like an ideal pick? That makes me, I literally have responded, like, I'm not talking about that. I can't believe how quick people are to be like, all right, let's just go for the picks now. Like even you doing the half.
You think you think the season's, you think there's still a chance at like the playoffs? What are we playing for?
Like, I'm in the grieving process. Like I literally 11 weeks ago was like,
you're in denial.
We're about to win a Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback. That's where I was 11 weeks ago. I was like, this is the year right now. And now they're dead. They're so dead. It's beyond dead. The deadest of dead. And so like, I can't even think about like looking at a mock draft. See, not only that, but like mock at the 13 or something.
I get so excited though, because it's like, oh my gosh, who can fix this team? The hope, as we talk about every season, right? How the NFL gets us is they sell you on hope in the beginning. Hope normally with the Bears,
every year.
you lose that like week 4, week 5. It's normally stripped away. Okay. For us, it didn't happen till about maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe. Because actually, if we win last week, not this previous one, we still think we're in it. So it really got stripped completely like 2 weeks ago.
Dude.
So now started. And then now it gets almost started over again with draft season because there's now that hope again. So I only do it because it keeps like the little glimpse of positivity and like excitement for the season. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I was just saying it's so funny you're talking about, or you're looking at the Bears season and that type of scope where it's like, okay, 2 weeks ago we win this one, can talk yourself into maybe, making a run here. I was like, you beat the Packers, you're 5-5. I was like, it's a clean slate. Even last week, I was like, as we were getting to this one, I was like, oh my God, we might beat the Vikings, the 8-2 Vikings. Like, this could be a big one. Like, this could be a kind of turnaround, maybe not get to the playoffs, but you could be fighting for one final spot if you go on a run here. And of course, we lost to the Minnesota Vikings. So now I'm at the point where it's like, maybe we can play spoiler, right? Go on a run, win a few games where we're kind of counted out, especially this week in Thanksgiving, where, I mean, you got the 10-1 Detroit Lions.
So good.
It's not going to be easy. So I think it's funny. Yeah. I was talking myself into all these scenarios the last few weeks, and it's like continuously let down. It's got to be, it hurts. But like I said, it's been a crazy season. So
real quick, we're 4-7.
Yep.
Right.
God, that sounds
Everything
horrible.
is right. Everything is an absolute disaster. We want Matt Eberflus's head on a spike. If we
All right.
win, yes, you do. If we win Thursday, are we back?
He's not wrong.
Low key, are we
I'll be
back?
honest.
No.
You get the line. Hold
No,
on.
I'll be
hold on,
honest.
Hold on. Let me
You
finish.
you
and
beat
then-
the
Okay,
Detroit
okay.
Lions, you could beat anybody. So you go on a run, you
That's where I'm
finish
going with it.
10-7.
Why not? Because okay, Seattle's.
Wait, is that right? Is that possible? Is it 17 games?
Yeah, you can win out 10-7.
10-7.
You guys
I
are
just-
sick.
Even
That
if
might have
it's-
just been
sick.
unlocked.
even if it's 9-8, dude. 9-8.
6 in a row?
Yes.
No,
what I'm
that's very
saying.
possible. It's very possible, but I also want to say this. Let's use a team that we all well know very well last year. This team last year, around this same time,
We had the same.
upset Detroit after a bye. And
Right.
offense looked great. We're all like Fields trained.
But San
Fantastic.
Francisco looks very beatable.
Everybody
do.
does, Dave. The
So you beat
Packers look
Detroit.
beatable. The Vikings look beatable. If we beat the Lions,
We went
prove
toe
we're
to toe with
beatable.
both of those guys.
But
However,
here's
that
the
was at
thing.
home.
Here's the thing. If we had a different coach, we played all of those teams that look beatable. They're going to be close games. They are. We're not blowing out any of them,
Yep.
which is fine. They're really good
And
teams.
his fatal flaw.
Is close games. We have found, the players have said it themselves, we have lost in ways that you can't even think of. Like, this shit is almost made up. I think DJ Moore's like, it's miraculously losses. Like, things just happen.
Mhm.
You're like, how? Right? And I take that to coaching because he's shown that over his 3-year tenure. So if it with the same exact roster, but a different head coach, I would say absolutely we still have a chance. You flip out Matt Eberflus and put in Dan Campbell, absolutely. But with this head coach, I don't think it's possible. Now, can we beat some of those teams and upset them? Absolutely. Can we get to 7, 8 wins, possibly 9? But for me to feel that we would go and win this out, I wouldn't be mad about it. But that's a big ask, especially with what we've seen with this. I just don't trust.
Let's see. Just beat Detroit, and then we can finally we can actually entertain that conversation.
This one we need to win because it's national, all national games. I just want it to be good. So
and it's Thanksgiving. Like,
yes,
come
please.
on. Give me something to feel good about while I'm
Please.
shoving my, just eating so much food. But okay, pause. Okay, let's get to our injury reports. We're gonna preview this one because we want to get to these 10 questions. So we're gonna go ahead and start this process with our injury report, and it's gonna help out because the Bears, as we bring this up,
Crazy.
is very, very sure. It's so funny. We are healthy and the season's over. Isn't that hilarious?
That's how it
We
works.
finally get healthy and the season's over. But Elijah Hicks, ankle, he did not practice. I don't know what's going on with him, but he has not practiced in quite a bit. And then Ryan Bates, concussion, limited. I think he's probably going to end up getting the green light, but we're still not 100% sure. So that's it. Obviously,
That means
Brisker's still tweeting, and he's still on IR.
Yes, he is.
So, but we're pretty healthy heading into this matchup against Thanksgiving. So, do we have the Lions by chance?
Yeah,
or
we
no?
do. We do. By the way,
Do they have graphics?
no.
What
Garbage.
is this?
Come on.
This is
man.
this looks like an Excel document.
for sure. This is
Okay, so we have
web scrape.
these are the Lions players: Carlton Davis III, cornerback, knee, thumb. What is MP?
not a
no
non-participant.
Oh, okay.
Non-participant, I think.
I said no practice.
I mean, it's the
Taylor
same.
Decker, tackle, knee. He did not practice. Khalif Raymond, wide receiver, foot, did not practice. David Montgomery, longtime Bear. Running back, of course, shoulder, did not practice. That's really interesting. Amaron St. Brown
Mhm.
did not practice. What is going on here? Terrion Arnold, corner,
Full practice.
full practice. Thank
Full
you.
Participant.
These freaking initials are getting me, dude. DJ Reader, defensive line illness. He was a full participant on Tuesday. Again, I don't know how much of this is walkthroughs as well. I don't know if they did a walkthrough on Tuesday like the Bears did.
It was walkthrough as well.
So
on their
maybe they're
site,
trying
that's
to-
what it said.
Either way, though, some big names to monitor
sure.
heading into Thanksgiving on a short week.
I saw some Lions tweet, like some Lions beat reporters saying like they're, with Monty and Amron, that's definitely more than just like not participating. Like there could be a possibility that they don't play. And here's something.
Ain't gonna
though to
lie to
think-
you, I would be okay with Montgomery not playing because, God, I do not want to see him running on us.
Yeah, for sure. Not against this run defense, which we'll get to in the overview here in a second. But You know, think about this though. If you're on the other side, right, you're Dan Campbell's shoes, you're 10-1. Like, obviously, you want to play all your players as you can. You're going against the Chicago Bears. Like, if you're going to sit at any point, I mean, look, we're not. What do you, dude? We're 4-7 for a reason. What do you mean about that?
I mean, but you just saw them go toe to toe with your two division opponents here. Like, they gave them hell, and you could argue they played well enough to win both games.
But this team is, and we'll see here in the overview, it puts the other two teams to rest, which is crazy. Like, this is a number one.
Detroit's
team.
A juggernaut.
Yeah, this is a number one, number two team across the board. Like, most people would agree. There's a lot of stats to back that up. So I'm just saying, like, this is a true juggernaut, at least how they're playing currently right now. You don't want to rest them against anybody. You don't. But, like, if you're going to and get that, because remember, after this week, it's basically a mini bye for both teams because you get the extended 3 days. You don't play Sunday, and then you get the following week after that. So if you sit them this week.
Can we play on Monday night?
Yeah,
I think we do.
Right. But the Lions are going to do Sunday. So now you get basically 2 weeks. So if you sit them now, you're going to get full rest for 2 weeks straight, and they for sure should be back ready. So I think from like a scheduling standpoint, not saying they're going to sit, I have no idea. But if you're going to rest them, this would be the perfect time to do it.
The only reason I would be like, I would be worrisome about resting anybody in Detroit is because of the division you're in, where you have Minnesota and Green Bay just keeping up.
Right
like
there.
They are in striking distance from that, from winning the division, which is going to be so important. Obviously, we've seen it, winning the division and then playing in a wild card is completely different. And so I think that's also where it's like, but it all depends on how they see the Bears, right?
You know what's funny?
And what team's going to bounce back.
Lions fans probably hate us because really we should have beaten the two teams, which then almost made them secure. You know what I mean?
It would feel a lot better, yeah.
For sure. Because the Vikings are now, they have 2 losses, right? So we would have given them 3. That's a 2-game difference. And then for the Packers, they have 3 losses. We would have given them 4. So a 3-game difference. So yeah, they're probably a little upset that we couldn't follow through on that. So sorry, Lions fans. We try, man. We really do. Well, we don't do anything.
Let's get to the game overview, Vic.
Yeah, let's do that real quick. So, oh man, this was sad putting together. Look at this. Just take a moment and please look at this. This is ridiculous. The biggest thing that stands out, like the passing offense, we're not surprised. We want to steal this offensive coordinator as our head coach, Ben Johnson. We've been talking ad nauseum about him. This offense is remarkable. Their passing is number 2 in the league. Rushing is like number 3 in the league with the spearhead of Sonic and Knuckles, of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Their blocking isn't like, it's like average, but it doesn't matter because they have so many weapons and Goff is just a magician back there. So offense, as we know, is really good. But what's surprising about this team, especially going in, this Lions pass defense, that was their weakness last year, really bad. And even this year, I have a couple Lions friends. They're talking about like, hey, I mean, I think our weakness is still the secondary. Now, they did get Terry and Arnold in the first round trading up. So like that was a good move. But this pass defense with all advanced analytics to this day, right now, as I'm currently speaking, is number 1 in almost every category. I'm just going to name some off here real quick for the pass defense. They are number 1 in deep passing, number 1 in passing versus play action, number 1 in passing versus no pressure, number 1 in passing versus the blitz, number 1 overall passing efficiency, number 2 in long passing, number 3 in passing versus no play action, number 2 in intermediate passing. Like this pass defense, I don't know what Dan Campbell's got cooked up over there, but they are going nuts on that side of the ball. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Bears handle that. And if you pull up that up again, Jack, so I can see the offensive side for us. Not much change on our side. So the one good thing is we finally got the passing football back. So hats off. Thank you, Caleb Williams and Keenan Allen. That's mostly for you. So really it's kind of the same in the offensive side. One ball, 2 ball, and 1 ball for blocking. And then our defense has been around the same. Pass defense still looking good. Run defense took a notch up, which is good, because that's still our weakness. And the pass rush, this has been surprising for us. With the defense that we have, this defensive line, we're still top 13, top 15, which is wild because Montez Sweat hasn't like performed, at least from a statistical standpoint, in the way you want. He's provided a lot of pressures, which is in par with what we've seen in at least last year. So that's good. But like sacks isn't up there. But like overall, this defensive line has done a pretty decent job in pass rush. So as much as we want Flus's head on a stake, you know, I got to give him credit for that over there. So, Jack, I don't know how you feel, but this may not be a close one. And we'll get to that. But like 22 footballs is easily the highest amount that we've seen all year. And Dave, I know that you were out for a second. You probably missed it. But what I just listed off, okay, yeah, I went through like 10 advanced statistics about Detroit's passing defense and how they were number one in like 10 different categories. And if not, they were like second or third. So
in passing defense.
Wow.
Good Lord. Okay.
All across the board. So it's going to be a tough matchup. But speaking of passing, one thing that has been good is our boy Caleb has been stepping up. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 4K tracker here.
This is interesting.
God. Look, there's a chance. So if you look here, first off, let's talk about the shout out to Caleb Williams for having 3 games of over 300 passing yards. Week 3 against Indy, he had 363. Week 5 against Carolina, 304. And then week 12, this last week, he had 340. So, I mean, compared to other rookie quarterbacks that have come through here, he already has more than like a lot of them combined in his rookie year. And that's comparing their careers here in Chicago. So the man is
Vic,
yeah.
Where's week 1?
Week 1 is so tiny. It is.
Oh,
it doesn't have a name. Yeah, it's so.
How many did he have?
Of what, 300 passing games?
Well, how many yards did he have in week 1? I cannot remember.
I think week 1 was like yes, it was over 150. So basically, if you see those thin slices where there's no
it's just too small.
So look at the slice for week 4, the Rams. That was 157.
He had 93.
Thank you. Thank you.
He had 93 in week 1?
Yes. Look at week 10 as well. Or yeah, can you take a look at week 10 as well? Because that was another tiny one. Jack, when you get a second. While he's doing that, let's talk about his year to date. His average is 215. So he's bumped it back up to where it was about 4 weeks ago. So that's good to see. And now his full year requirement is 274. To do that every game is going to be crazy and particularly tough against this number 1 passing defense, which I just talked about. But it is possible. Like, it is still in the cards for him to get it, but he's going to have to ball out. We're gonna have to see a lot of those 360 games again. But
my thing is, if he can do 6 games remaining, if he can go over 300 on 3 of those, we have 7.
Well, 4 and 7 is our record. No, you're right. 6 games. Sorry about
6.
That.
So 6 games remaining. If he can go 3 more times of 300 plus, whether it's 320, 340, another 360, kind of gives you a little bit more of a room for error on those other games. But man, I was looking at the numbers before the pod, and I was like, this guy, I mean, he's already on pace. He's projected to finish with over 3,600 passing yards, and that's
37.
ESPN's projections, which are always a little bit on the more
conservative.
What's the word? Conservative. Yeah, that's the word. Conservative projection. And so it's interesting, and he's having a pretty dang good year. Like
I'd say so.
The numbers are coming. They're up. They're really on the upward swing. And Thomas Brown, I think, is the X factor here, honestly.
And you'll see that here on our next one. Oh, sorry, Jack. Did you see the week 10?
120. So those sort of stink. Yeah, when you have 96 and 120, it really doesn't help.
Yep, drives those averages down. We talked about it. The problem was he was so hot and cold, right? It was either he forgot how to throw a football or he was dotting it up. So because
that was against the Patriots as well.
He's also the most sacked quarterback in the NFL.
That doesn't help either.
That does not help on those.
But ever since we got our tackles back, both of them back, True. That's not been the case. And I actually want to give him a shout out. And Jack, not to go against your point against the post game, but there's only one team in the NFL that has has both their starting tackles in the top 25 via PFF, and that is the Chicago Bears. So whether you want to take PFF as truth, right? You don't necessarily have to, but like it is a good gauge of like good and bad. I would say they're at least average, and so that's good to see. The issue has always been the interior, and then those 2 games where both of our tackles were out. So definitely polls will address that. We have some questions about that coming up here soon, so stay tuned for that. But definitely may not have to improve as much as what we expect going into the offseason. And then, Jack, can you bring up the QBR as well? Thank you, sir. So for the QBR tracker, oh, man, this is what gets me excited. Just like we saw kind of week 2 to week 5, that progressive climb, and I know he started low, so it wasn't hard to climb up. We're starting to see the same thing from week 8. Now, it was a slow climb from week 8 to week 10, but week 10 on is when Thomas Brown took over. And as you can see, since Thomas Brown took over, his QB rating has been 95 and 103. And what's different from this increase or this incline compared to what we saw week 3 to week 6, week 3 to week 6 was some of our softest teams, right? That was the softest schedule. That was like the Panthers, Jaguars, like some of these defenses that we talked about, the Rams that were like bottom 10 in defense. That is not the case the past 2 weeks. We went against a top 5 defense last week, and then we also went against a top 10, sometimes top 5 defense the week before against the Packers, 2 division rivals as well. So it's good to see this, that he's actually doing this against high quality, high caliber opponents. So good to see.
Yeah. I want to bring up that Shane Waldron, some of his numbers, because QBR. So the 3 games before Thomas Brown took over, his QBR was 13.2, 20, and 35.4. Very, very low. Another thing, this is in an article that I actually published today, and it was in regards to actually Caleb Williams and his fourth quarter numbers and how he's really become a really, really potent quarterback in the fourth quarter, which is something I don't think we've ever seen in Chicago in a very, very long time. But another thing that has upped is his rushing. In the 2 games with Shane Waldron, he has 103 rushing yards in 2 games. Before that, before the 3 games, the final 3 games with Waldron, he had 20 total. 20 total. It is very, very, it's almost like he was coached not to run or to stay in the pocket, go through your reads, live and die by that. It's just such, and you see that he is really making it it's very important to him to just go sometimes, right? Where he understands I'm going to get these yards, right? And it's almost like perfect timing where a team needs a play, 3rd down, or it's even 2nd and long where he can pick up 6, 7 on his own instead of maybe throwing in a tight window, which we know he can do based on last week where he did it like 6 times. I just think it's very striking to see the difference between Thomas Brown at the helm and then we have Shane Waldron, who it's like beforehand, it was very, very bad. Very, very bad in regards to how Shane was almost coaching or not coaching. Caleb.
Jack, I'd love to know your thoughts, but one of the biggest things I took away from these past 2 games is his decisiveness, whether it's running or passing. It seems like whether it's the right decision or not, it seems like he's making his decisions quicker and he seems more confident behind his decisions. So whether it was Thomas Brown coming in there being like, bro, you're the guy, just do you, right? Don't worry about all this extra stuff, right? I need you to have confidence in yourself and not be worried about making mistakes left and right. I don't know because we're not in the locker room, but it just seems like he's way more quicker with his decision-making and delivering strikes. Or the difference, too, with his rushing, a lot of it is him stepping up into the pocket and then just taking off. While before, a lot of his rushing was when he was outside the pocket and running out, right? Where it's like, oh, I'm bailing. And that's not the case here. It's like, go through my read, up, the option's not there. He talked about it one time where it was like, I stepped back, looked at my first option, saw it was in man, saw that there was an opening in the gap and just took off like quick and boom. He has the athleticism to get it. So Jack, I want to know your thoughts on that. Is that your biggest takeaway? Have you noticed something like that as well?
I think it comes down strictly to the offensive line. Like we just talked about it with the tackles coming back. Like you can't be decisive if you don't know what kind of pressure you're getting every single snap.
Good point.
And so now that that's becoming somewhat repaired and that he's getting this time and has the confidence that he's going to have, hopefully 3 to 4 seconds to throw every single play. It only helps. So I think Thomas Brown definitely helps, but I think the offensive line's a huge part of that too.
Absolutely. I mean, we love those trenches, so absolutely.
Yeah. Can I want to, if you don't mind, Vic, before we move on, I want to just share those fourth quarter stats that I kind of picked up from. So basically, this is Caleb Williams in the fourth quarter. It's his fourth quarter split through 11 games. He is 74 for 110, which is a 67.3% completion percentage, 689 total passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, 95.6 rating. And also, very, very, very critical here. He's trailing a lot in the fourth quarter. So the defenses, of course, are able to play the pass, right? Send pressure. You saw it last week with Brian Flores. So I just think that it is a very cool, and it's a decent sample size, right? 11 games where you get to see a guy that is almost polar opposite of the one former quarterback that
and before that too.
Big debate. Yep. Even with Mitch Trubisky. However, I can't remember Jay. Honestly, I'd have to go look at his splits as well. But interesting stuff, right? So anyways,
no, it is good to see. Like,
again, that was
thinking
part of our article.
Yeah, and everyone should go check that out. Check out all Dave's articles on Sports Mockery as well. But
Jack's
I think Jack's too. Yeah, all of them. Check mine out on there too. If you can find them, screenshot them to me. I'll send you a free jersey. But
they're a bunch of memes. This is Jack's. Very good ones.
But if what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's a much different vibe watching these games because you do feel like you know you're going to lose the game deep down, but you feel like your quarterback is going to give you an opportunity for you to blow it. You know what I mean?
Well, last week when they were down 10 and they were driving, it was 4th and 3 inside it was like on the Vikings 29-yard line. It was 4th and 3, and I was like, oh, here we are. We're down 10 points. We have to get a touchdown and then onside. I'm like, this is where it ends. 4th and 3. And he throws a dart over the middle to Rome Odunze. And it was more Rome on this one where I couldn't believe he came down with that. Like that
catch was remarkable. But the play before that, there was like
touchdown, right?
Yeah, the one where it's kind of like on the outside and he's splitting the
corner
standing up.
He missed them again on the next, very next play after he converted the 4th down. It was that corner end zone shot where that's the one over his head.
Oh yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. That's the one. It's like that's a touchdown right there. But he's not perfect. But yeah, it's an interesting vibe where I feel like now we've seen at least 5 games where he has been dominant. We have at least 5 games where you're like, that is the guy. Now we have 6 other ones where it's like, okay, maybe not your best effort, or oh my gosh, we've given up 9 sacks, 6 sacks. And 6 sacks. It was hard to grade you as an incomplete, right? And then you had some in the early weeks, like the first 3 weeks, where I would say, yeah, you did not look great. But it's nice that we're starting to see it now. And what I talked about earlier on, and I think you guys also talked about as well, is like, it's not going to be linear. We know that. But by the end of the season, if he started here, I want him ending here. So if it's doing this through the season, I don't care. As long as at the end of that valley, you seem like you're here, great. And that is what we're seeing right now. So hats off to Caleb. Hats off to the offense. Hats off to Thomas Brown. You guys are doing a good job. So
for sure. Let's get to our bowl predictions.
Yeah. Speaking
of
hats
you want to go through.
No, that's good. Okay. We got to give a hats off to our producer here, Jack. The only one who got it right this week. I can't remember what it was, Jack. Do you remember? I totally forgot.
No clue.
Okay, well, good stuff. I'll have to pull it up, but Jack did get his. Was it over 300 yards? Maybe
I thought it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Caleb over 300, so he got it. Dave had close. Dave almost got it. Had Montez Sweat at a sack and a half. He got a sack, and then I had Jalen Johnson interception, but instead I got Jalen Johnson DPI. So I was close as well. So,
bro, he was Mr. DPI.
It wasn't. I don't know.
I know Justin Jefferson only held him to 27 yards, but like, dude, and some of them one was ticky tack. I would say that it was more holding than DPI. But I'm like, I don't even know how mad I can get. That's how good Jalen Johnson is. I'm just not used to him giving up anything or even.
Yeah, I know.
Even I don't even know how. I was shocked Sam threw. Well, I guess his way no matter who's against him, but yeah. So high expectations, I guess. And I'm hoping he can bounce back. It'll be interesting to see if Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be out there too.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be a big one. Speaking of high expectations, I don't know if I'm hitting mine, but let's pull up the bold take. Look at that face. Here we go. Bears score 4+ touchdowns. Now, I did not limit this to the offense. I'm putting anybody in this category. And why I say that is Jared Goff has been a machine this year. But Jared Goff, and he already had a game this year. He threw 5 interceptions. If you remember last year.
And they won.
He threw 4 against us. And then in the other game, he threw 3. So in 2 games combined, Jared Goff threw 7 interceptions, and he still found a way to win one of them, which is wild. And yes, he threw 5 in that game and still won, Dave, which is just a testament to that coaching staff and that team. Because if we did that, we would have been beat by 500 points. So I'm going 4 total touchdowns. Somehow they do it. I don't care if it's special teams. Maybe they have something happen on defense. Goff throws a lame duck to somebody, pick 6, and the offense gets 2. One way or another, we're going to find out a way to get 4 touchdowns. Dave, how about you? Let's see what Dave's got.
I don't know. I feel like he's just in a groove with Thomas Brown. I think Detroit. Yeah, I don't even know why I think this, but I believe it's going to happen. I think we're going to get another back-to-back 300 games from Caleb. 300-yard game. So I'll leave it at that. Jack?
Yeah, that actually is more bold than what you expect. That number 1 passing defense is crazy. So Jack, go ahead.
You want to get bolder?
Yeah, let's
Don't
do
tell
it.
me Bears win. Oh, okay.
Lions less than 100 rush yards, my friend.
Oh, that
I
ain't
say,
happening.
oh, watch. I'm 4-6. You're not. You have to understand that.
True.
A lot of
It's
my
true or not.
I mean, that's
I don't-
fair.
But
That's
but
fair.
I don't. You know what? I'm just gonna take the L. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just saying, I think that,
He said it's okay.
It's all right.
yeah, it's okay. TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds just absolutely devour. Monty is like, I'm not going to play the rest of this game because he'll fake an injury, get out. And then Jameer
Fake is
is not really a
crazy.
rushing running back. Yeah, well, he's scared. Everyone's scared. That's why everyone's like, oh, what's up with the injury report? I wouldn't want to play us either right now. We're hot.
That's
We're hot. We have
That's
2 close
crazy.
wins. 2 close losses, actually, is what I meant. But
I mean, look,
we're
the
getting-
only person who shouldn't want to play us, is Jared Goff. That's literally the only
Yeah,
one where I'd be like,
those
"Bro."
demons. He's gonna be fighting those on
Yeah,
Saturday night
He's got what was it?
or
What,
Wednesday night.
what was it? Sam Darnold when he was on the Jets, or Zach Wilson? I can't
Seeing
remember. It was
goats.
like, seeing goats.
Goats.
Yeah. Goats. Yeah, on the other side, Caleb probably, or goats
Seeing
on the
goats.
defense, fucking feasting on Jared Goff. So, yeah, okay. Bold takes. Those are interesting. Those are we'll see what
Those are
happens.
interesting.
But those are always interesting. I know I do get excited when they hit though, but every time mine hit, like we lose. So I'm like,
Next year, I'm going strategic. I'm gonna try and have some. I'm gonna have a winning record.
well, if the team starts winning, we're gonna have to make our bold takes a little bit bolder.
Well, also starting next year, we'll have to keep track of our score predictions too. Just
Oh,
more work for you.
we're
Vic.
probably appreciate it. We're probably garbage on there. Our score
I'll-
prediction.
Speaking of
Yeah.
score prediction, we could do Ficky's bold take as a score prediction if we wanted to.
What
Because
you
this,
mean?
I mean, this is your score is
Oh.
crazy.
Let's see it.
It's a
Let's
hell
see
of
it.
Hold up. Let's
When he
hold
said
It's a hell
4
of a game.
touchdowns.
up. Look, man.
Yeah, we got
All
him
right,
here.
perfect. Let's start with a boo. Let's do Lions. I love
Oh,
doing this
man.
shit, bro. Lions 38, Bears 31. Look, we've played the Lions close 2 years in a row with Matt Eberflus. So why? Like, obviously, he's got something figured out on that side. I do
31
not
and
think we
lose?
win.
Ah,
I do not think we win. But look, Dave, this would help your narrative. Caleb goes for 300. I think it would help Jack's narrative. I think they'd be pass heavy. Like, this defense has given up some points in the past 3 weeks. So they could give up a decent amount, and Caleb has to put on his Superman cape and keeps his
That'd be
team in
sick.
it. So I would not even be mad. If we lose that way, I would not be mad because that means Caleb probably looked good. Defense looked bad, which I hate that because I do love the defense. Defense looks bad, which then is tied
this
to
is
Matt
gonna
Eberflus.
remind.
And then Eberflus loses, means that he's going to get fired. And then draft stock. Perfect.
It's gonna
perfect
remind
concoction.
me of. It reminds me of like that time. Was it 2023 or 2022 where the Bears went on where they were scoring like 30 plus with Justin Fields, and you just felt
Mhm.
good heading into the offseason. You're like, oh man, they really put up some points.
Yep.
You know, were able to score. You felt good about the offense, about Justin's development. Hopefully the outcome's different with Caleb here. But yeah, I would love if we could continuously score 30 or score 30 on Detroit. That'd be insane. It'd be a really good showing again for Thomas
sure.
Brown and Caleb.
Especially on national television. And right now, there's a great comment.
Yeah,
there
that'll be
by
a
our
great
boy
Thanksgiving
Phil.
game.
For Phil, he mentioned this is the Thomas head coaching. I mean, this Thomas Brown head coaching narrative. And look, if we start to see that going on, and we'll talk about head coaches again. Stay for the mailbag, which will come up here shortly. Like,
Yeah.
he's going to be climbing that ladder. So,
yeah.
But you know what's crazy? If we look at Dave's, it's not too far off. But Dave, go ahead and give yours.
I always forget what I throw in, what I put in. Oh, we had 34-27. Well, I just knew the Lions were going to put up points, and I thought the Bears have been they've been offensively, better. So I'm like, why not? Why not have a little bit of shootout? And either way, I think the Lions are going to score points. They're just going to. So it's like, hopefully we can keep up. So, Jack, what is yours, brother?
Mine's not as optimistic for Chicago.
I love it.
31-17. I know. It kills me because week one.
You're normally on the other side.
It'd be 52-16 if it was week one. But
I honestly thought this. I had that score prediction. No joke, Jack. I felt that way.
You know what's crazy?
The same one?
No.
That's what I was feeling. I almost sent that in.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
He's like, what?
I was like, I just saw it. I swear to God.
No, that wasn't it. That's, to be fair, that could easily happen. And there's one major stat that people really aren't talking about. Like this, I know I amped up this passing defense, right? Which is really good. I mean, the whole team is really good. That's why they've only lost one game, right? But the Lions in the last 10 quarters, how many points do you think they've given up on defense?
Against the Lions?
No. Just the last 10 quarters the Lions have played. How many points have they allowed their opponents to score?
In the fourth quarter?
No, just
last
10 quarters straight.
Just the last 10 quarters.
Yes, that's 2 games and a half.
Man, under 30, I would suggest.
I'm going to, because Ficky's bringing it up, give me 17.
0.
Okay, well.
I think it was 0 I saw.
They're giving up 0 points in the last 10 quarters?
I thought it was, is that not right? Someone looked at it. I thought I saw.
Are they shutting teams out?
Score?
Wait, actually, I need to double check. Someone double check that.
Hold on.
They scored.
Wait a minute. I might be completely
I'm pulling
wrong
up the Lions games right now.
Wait a second. I need to
The
find
last game was 24-6 and 52-6.
Okay, so you know what it is? Wait, no, then 52-6.
But they scored. But you said last.
No, I may have seen it. It may have been
touchdown.
It may have been a touchdown or something.
Okay.
But still, look, 12 points and 3 games.
6 points though, both back to back. That's scary.
Yeah. Either way, sorry, 0 is definitely wrong. But like 12 points, 2 games, and I think the game before that as well, they held their opponent pretty low.
I'm just saying though, yeah. If there were 0 points, I'm like, okay.
Wait,
we don't even have a chance. Let me fix this.
We got Brad Holmes, or who's a Lions fan. I would guess by the Avi with Brad Holmes.
That's why saying it's
eyes.
true.
Right. He says that's true. Let us know. Confirm on that. I swear I saw a tweet about it.
They scored points. The other team scored.
How is it? Is not true?
I don't know.
You think he's like, it might be
it can't be true. They obviously scored more than 0.
The box score is wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe it was 10 quarters.
Dude, either way, 6 points in back-to-back games.
That's it. Touchdown in the last 10 quarters. There you go.
Haven't given. That's impressive.
Still remarkable. So
that's 2.5 games.
As much as everyone's talked about this offense and how dynamic it is, right? Which is wild because they've scored like 50 points in 2 games and 40 in like 4. I'm just throwing it out there. They've scored a lot.
You know how frustrating it's got to be down 50-something to 6. The Jags were like, I'd be off, but man.
Yeah, can you imagine that happens to us on Thanksgiving? I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but
I can imagine.
They are literally. It's weird to say, but this is a Super Bowl team. Like they are beating everyone by margin. They lead in points per margin, a point differential. They're the top 2 offense, a top 3 defense. Like if they keep it up, it's gonna be a tough one. But
I like that. Lions are due for an ass whooping.
They are though. They are. All right, let's get to the headlines.
Headlines.
All right, these should be good. Detroit dishes out the stuffing because it's Thanksgiving and they are going to be delivering. I think we are going to get beat. But again, I don't think it's, getting 38 dropped on you is bad, but there is a high possibility that my prediction is nowhere near close and we get beat 38-0 or something. Yeah, not 0, but there's a possibility. If we scored 3 against the Patriots, I know that was before Thomas Brown. But if we scored 3 points against the Patriots, you cannot tell me that there's not a slim chance, at least, that this team doesn't put up double digits. Yeah, silence.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's how
know.
bad it would be. Let's go to Dave's next for the headline.
Oh, glimpse of the future. I was like, why did I put this? Now I remember. Ben Johnson. They're going to score points. We're going to get a glimpse of what hopefully the Bears, and we're going to get into this question later. One of our mailbag questions is a good one. It involves head coaches for next year. But this is a glimpse of Ben Johnson and what he can do. And we're going to see it first or up close and personal on the holiday on Thanksgiving.
Fun.
Oh, we ever played the Lions? No.
Well, no, I meant last year. We saw Ben Johnson.
Last year.
Yeah. He put up points on us there too.
2024. Yeah.
Yep.
Jack, what do we got here? Let's see. What do you craft up?
Lions, Dan Campbell, Bears, oh my. Dan Campbell
love it.
absolutely annihilates Matt Eberflus in the coaching game. I can smell 55,000 fake punts, fake field goals, onside squibs, you name it. I think that we are going to get smoked, and Matt Eberflus is going to look around and be shaking like Shane Waldron. So I think Dan Campbell has a nice
That is so funny. I cannot believe him shaking. That's an all-timer.
It wasn't even like
all-timer.
a tremor. It was like literal shaking as if you were like,
What's worse?
And it wasn't even
worse?
in the fourth quarter, I don't think.
it's the second.
No playoff game?
No.
Second game?
Yeah. What's worse, the shaking of the playbook, or not playbook, but the, it's call sheet, or the smile with Caleb?
The smile.
The smile's so deadly.
The smiles when the smiling, I knew he was gone. I was like,
Had to
okay.
be.
Because Caleb looked pissed. He was like, this guy's laughing. He thinks this is funny. This is a joke. Oh, anyways.
Crazy stuff. And one hypothetical before we go, and we'll do our little mid-read, and then we'll go to the mailbag.
We'll go to our mailbag.
Hypothetical here. I always think negatively, which I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all our viewers out there. But if we were to get stomped on Thanksgiving, this is national television. No. Let's just say that like the biggest as possible.
They're not. Newcastle's aren't going to fire Flus on a Thanksgiving holiday.
Monday. No. Let us say, hey, have your time with your family. Because normally they do firings on Monday, like just NFL in general.
Okay.
Monday morning, stuff's packed. We have to get beat bad, though. I'm saying like 45-3 or something. Like, we have to get beat by at least 30 points. National television. With also, like you said, glimpse of the future. You literally see your head coach across on the sideline. Do they not go, boom, and say, hey, Ben Johnson, you know this is for you?
Ficky, you're sort of turning me on here. I like the sound.
I don't see it happening because if we get our butts kicked and we don't score points, then you don't really have a need to see Thomas Brown, right, as a head coach. Because like if we score points and we lose in a shootout, I still think you could fire him. But then it just gives you a little bit more of a reason to fire him because you want to get a good look at Thomas Brown, and that's what smart organizations would do. But this franchise is not smart, and they're not going to do it because they've never done it. They've never fired somebody mid-season, so it's not happening.
I hope. I don't know if you guys saw the reports, but I will give hats off to McCaskey. George, he was out there with the fans. He always goes out during some games and whatever tailgates. And there's a video of, I don't know what the people were saying, but he was like, I know. So I'm hoping people are like, look, you need a new head coach. You got it wrong,
George.
This team sucks.
I know.
Yes, I know. So I'll give hats off because at least he's out there doing that with fans, and he's always out with the fans. But like, he listens, so I think he cares. I just think he doesn't know football.
He should
so I'm
care.
hoping the right people, but some owners don't. But I'm hoping he has the right people in there now to like make the right decisions. So
that video was so confusing to me because it was captioned in a way where like you can see somebody say like fire Matt Eberflus or something.
I couldn't tell by the words. That's what people are like
there
saying.
Was no tell of it, and I watched it. I've no joke, probably 30 times trying to figure out.
You can't see it.
Fun fact: I haven't watched it once because I'm like, I don't believe.
There's nothing there really. It's just him saying, "I know." It could have been. He
says, "I know." That's it.
But like,
I know.
For clicks, you're probably thinking, "Oh, let's," He
was talking there for a minute. You're talking there for a minute, and he looks kind of like frustrated, not like mad at the fans, but like he seems like.
But it could be like, "Oh man, this weather. Oh man, what was the weather like?" Or like, oh man, this training camp's just not it anymore.
We need a win.
Oh man, DJ Moore, his body language.
Probably that.
Could be
DJ there's just so many what ifs.
Yeah, it's speculation, and it's not even. You can't even confirm if that's truly. I know, but that's kind of what they're going with. But anyways,
or it could be Chase Claypool. Oh yeah, I know. I know.
That's a good list we could go through.
Quick intro to the mailbag. I'll answer this question. Alex says on YouTube, Jack, if you watched it 30 times, what was McCaskey's body language like? Very bad. Very bad.
Not
Not
great.
good. I would tweet about it right now if George
As the
had
body
one.
language expert.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am. I looked very deep into his body
You are.
and found nothing. There was no,
Yeah.
it was very bad.
No sign of
That's
anything.
Jack certified.
Yes.
For sure. We need a stamp for that.
Clip that,
I'm
tweet
gonna
it,
have to
whatever
create
you
a.
need.
I'm gonna have to create a
Can we get
graphic.
it? Can we get that? Yeah. Yeah.
I have to do
That's
that.
good.
Yeah.
Jack's
More work for me.
face.
I'll read any
Stamp.
body language.
Certified.
Stamp certified. It's almost like Chuck's guaranteed. We can do a Jack certified. Before we get to the mailbag, though, let's go ahead and do. Well, I'll do the mid read right here. So, First off, everybody who's watching the show, thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Please like and subscribe the show, FTA, for the algorithm. It really helps push this episode and the show out to more great viewers, supporters like you. We really do appreciate it. We love having these vent sessions, building up a little bit of hope just for the Bears to strip it from us every Sunday or Thanksgiving holiday. But if you want to support us, it's free. Takes like 5 seconds. We really do appreciate it. If you've already liked and subscribed, thank you. You're fucking awesome. You really are. If this is also your first time, please give a hashtag new face gang in the chat. We'll make sure to star him. We'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. Also, if you're an OG, which means this is not your first time watching the show, it could be your second, it could be your 115th, all of our episodes. First off, hats off to you. Please give a hashtag OG in the chat, and we'll make sure to give you a shout out. And also, if you want to give your score predictions within those hashtags, we'll go ahead and make sure to give those a shout out as well at the end of the show as we rattle those off. So if you want to support the BFR squad as well, right? It is getting a little bit cold, I would say. You can go to the BFRstore.com where we have hoodies to keep you warm. Super warm. They're super comfortable. I own one. I know Jack owns one. We have some friends of the show who have hopped on to own them and said they're very comfortable. So if you want to go ahead and support us, you can go to BFRstore.com. Also, our products are linked on our YouTube channel as well. Should be able to order them straight from there.
And
if you,
this is new to you guys. I'm not sure. All proceeds go to the Ben Johnson Foundation.
Yeah, for sure. To get Ben Johnson.
Head coach.
Very generous of Dave.
Yeah,
very, nice.
very, very generous. For sure. So if you want to support us, buy something for your family, friends. Also, like I said, I've been saying this since we keep losing. Wearing Bear stuff out in public, a little embarrassing right now. No pun intended or pun intended. So if you want to rep some BFR stuff, you look cooler anyways. Let's be real. And you still kind of show your support for the Bears. Best way to get a win-win in that
Big
situation.
F and Rod, baby.
For sure. The Big F and Rod podcast. So also, if you want to join our ongoing community on Patreon, then you can go to the BFR Den on patreon.com where we have exclusives every monthly, like monthly giveaways, which we have coming up next week. Private Zoom calls, which we just did this week with our Hall of Fame Grizzly tier members, mailbag episodes. We're doing one now, but we do also mailbag private episodes on the Patreon as well. And we're working on some other great content as well. Look at that. Look how happy Caleb is because we're winning. That's crazy. I forgot about that. And speaking of our Patreons, let's give a shout out to our members here. We got our Hall of Fame Grizzlies. We got Michael across the pond in the UK. We got our man Gage as well. Thank you so much for being Hall of Fame members. We really do appreciate y'all so much. You guys help support the show. And then also to our rookie Grizzlies, we can't forget about y'all. Alex, who just had a question. Shout out to you for watching. Brian, Chris, Jason, and Eston. So if you want to join the Patreons, $3 for our rookie Grizzly tier. It's like a cup of coffee. And it's only once a month, so you're good there, right? And then we have our highest tier, Hall of Fame, which is $10.
Starbucks.
Oh, yeah, less than. Yeah, for sure. With the economy right now, that's much cheaper than a cup of coffee. So $10 is probably a true cup of coffee now. If you're talking Starbucks, get yourself a venti.
I get the venti white chocolate mocha with peppermint, and that runs me about $7.25.
Exactly. So you're about halfway. You're past halfway for a Hall of Fame tier. So if you for a large cup of coffee at Starbucks, you get a private, at least
the venti,
a private
Zoom. The venti, Ficky. It isn't a large. What kind of sick shit are you talking about right now?
I don't know. I never know.
I know you're a coffee guy. You're Starbucks.
No, I'm not a coffee guy. I am not. I do not do coffee.
You drink tea?
No, I don't. I do water and electrolytes, but that's a different story. So anyways,
have you seen Ficky?
For a large, it's
about 5 times this size.
For a venti cup of coffee, you can become one of our Hall of Fame Grizzly members and get private Zooms with us. And they're like 30 minutes. They're pretty fun. We love doing them. They're fantastic. So thank you all for the support so far. You know what I mean? You can join the Patreon for free as well. Thank you all for liking, subscribing, and thank you all for just tuning in. Like, you didn't have to do this. We really appreciate it. We know there's a bunch of great podcasts out there. So the fact that you took time to be with us, fantastic. And we're about to reward y'all because we have some mailbag questions that Dave sends out to tweet to get some questions on Twitter. Yes, I still call it Twitter. And we're going to go through them right now and see what you guys got. Love to answer these. So
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Twitter mailbag. First one here from Joey, which is Suzuki PLS Homer, says, how early does Rome become wide receiver 1, and why is it that late?
Can I start this?
Absolutely.
Rome Odunze in the fourth quarter this year, 17 receptions, 178 yards, 9 first downs, 1 touchdown. Go to him more earlier. Is that the right word? Go to him earlier. Yeah, go to him earlier. I think he could be clear number 1. I'm not saying next year, but I don't think it's out the window to expect him to maybe eclipse DJ in the next couple of years. If not next year. He's a different type of player than DJ, but you saw it last week where he just makes some unbelievable catches, and he was only targeted 25 times in the fourth quarter, right? So far this year, and he has 17 receptions, 178 yards, which is actually 10th in the NFL. Not just rookie wide receivers. That's 10th in yards in the fourth quarter by a receiver. And the other 9, as you can expect, are very, very good, if not elite number 1s. So, and I don't have that list right now, but I'm just saying I think it could happen a lot quicker, a lot sooner than we think. I don't know how you guys think about it.
The only problem, and I'll be quick here for you, Jack. The only problem is when you have Keenan, if Keenan has a game like last week or DJ has his break, it's hard. There's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. So, I mean, but yeah, it could happen. Jack, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't need to waste time. Dave, you nailed it. Just get it to him earlier. You're welcome. He's absolutely capable, worthy, deserves it. So
yeah,
I mean, I think he's far better. I don't think it's a hot take. I think he's way better than Brian Thomas. And Brian Thomas is a good example of like being a rookie going into a wide receiver 1 role. And I do think Rome's far better. So if it were to be that same situation, just copy and paste Rome or the Bears with the Jags, then you know what I mean?
Yeah,
for sure. I think so. And if Keenan's probably not coming back next year, but I don't know if that's one of our questions.
It is actually one of our questions.
Oh, okay. We'll wait on that.
Yeah, we'll wait on that one for sure. You didn't hear that.
Appreciate
let's pull up the next one. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we got Kobe's here with @Brian1800, or Cobes, I should say, said, if Caleb improves and the offense looks good, how likely do you think it is that Matt Eberflus stays? I hate even reading that.
Let's do 1 through 10. 1 through 10 on that.
Okay.
Jack, Fick, you take it.
1.
Start.
2.
1.
Okay,
that's me. I just don't think they can do it.
There's no way. No. I mean, I only did 2 because the Bears have just done wild shit before.
Oh, okay.
They've done stuff. We're like, what are you doing? Like, it makes no sense to do this. So, but still,
and his contract's interesting too, because you're paying Shane Waldron's contract right now, and there's 2 years left on that.
Sorry, Jack, pull up that last comment, please, from Phil. He's had some funny ones today. Phil said, OG in the chat as well said -666 because he's the devil. Sorry. I just thought that was good. Also, if you guys have the funny ones, we love reading. So if you got some great stuff in the comments, please. We share all our comments. Not toxic,
off the wall.
Yeah, those are good. So let's go ahead and pull up the
question
next one,
number 3.
Oh, you guys are not going to like this one. So Ivy June here @Coach Hughes Ace SB. Geez, sorry, I'm having a hard time reading these. Why should Vrabel be the next coach?
So, why should he?
Why should he?
He's a very good coach. Let's be honest. He's a good coach. I would be a little disappointed. However, he is a leader of men. I think he's good defensively, and I can see it. I think his pedigree alone would probably outweigh some of these other options, but this is why he should, right? So
he's
I'll
on
leave
the
it
list,
at
right? He's on top 5, right? You would think.
So yeah, we can get. Yeah, there's a list.
We'll get to. I think it's actually a question. Never mind.
It is one of them.
Okay,
he's on there.
Sorry, we're all jumping the gun. Jack,
but yeah, what about you?
Why should Vrabel be the head coach?
Not a single reason I could give. Not a single reason. I swear to God, if Mike Vrabel is our head coach next year, I'm going to Buffalo. I'm a Josh Allen fan, 17 for life. One, defensive coach, done with him. Let's learn a lesson here. Stop doing it. Number two, great coach, good guy, funny, cool, sort of hard ass like Dan Campbell. I know that there's like some other pieces that go into it. There's a reason he's not on an NFL roster in any capacity, any role. There's a reason. He just did not win. I get that the Titans didn't look good. He has a winning record all time. I think barely over 500. I swear to God, if it's Mike Vrabel, if we let Thomas Brown just walk away or go home, or we keep him as OC in the offense, say they ball out, greatest offense we've ever seen, I will die.
Don't die. We need someone to run this
I will die.
Funny,
I will die. You do your own comments. You do all
you're
the
so
shit I
funny.
do. I can't do
tweet how you talk. I really do believe
I am
that.
authentic, bro. This is what you get.
Yeah, sure.
This is who I am.
Okay,
Sure.
Ficky, why?
Well,
is this
I was
big?
the only. I brought this one up a couple episodes ago, and I think Jack gave that exact response about I was talking about Mike Vrabel. I'm not saying it's my number one option, but it was basically a discussion about leader of men. So like he obviously shows that he gives me like if we're putting people in buckets, right? Like the Dan Campbell head coaching buckets, it would be Mike Vrabel. They give very similar vibe, defensive minded people. Well, I think Campbell's offense, right? Or was he defense?
And
And
was he a
Campbell?
linebacker? I think
He was a linebacker. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. So
I don't know what
he's
he
a
coached,
defensive.
though.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think he's a
linebacker.
linebacker. So I think they're both defensive minded. Gives you kind of that knit and grit type of guy. So like it could work. Devil's advocate. I still want offense focused. I do, but devil's advocate. The past offensive head coaches we've had have been garbage. The last good head coach we ever
Some
had
respect
was
on
defense.
Matt Nagy's name. There was a clip, a TikTok of him like throwing the challenge flag, getting in ref's face, having these moments. I was like, man, we didn't have it. It wasn't too bad. And maybe that's just right now with
It is.
Eberflus. But I'm like,
is.
Nagy had some fucking funny moments, dude.
Our bar is so low.
We do this with everybody. We hated Cutler when he was here. Then he leaves and we get stuck.
I loved Cutler. Never hated him.
A majority of people
me.
did not like him and they thought that
No, the injury stuff in the NFC North, there was some stuff where I was like, bro, come on. Like,
Right.
You're,
It just
you're
was not a
so
popular
good. Come
person.
on.
and
I wasn't
like
even tweeting then.
we
Isn't that
get-
crazy?
Well, you were so young then, right?
I
Was
was in high school.
2012? Okay. Yeah.
I just started high school, freshman.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
I just wasn't tweeting as much.
I was
where?
I was in college, so a little bit older. So like I remember those ones vividly. I'm like, bro,
That is
come
so
on.
weird, dude. That is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
weird.
Jack wasn't even born, so so there's that. But yeah, I mean, look, he's gonna be in the searching candidate. In the Kansas.
Yeah.
He's gonna be one of the options, but I don't think he's a number one option. Let's go to the next one, Jack.
Couldn't tell you which we're at here.
Okay, Yair here.
5.
Hopefully I pronounced that right with at SKEME year. Okay, with Scheme 8484 said, what's the realistic expectation for this offseason? Say it. Say my word, please. Who's gonna say it
Find the
first?
why.
No, not that. Trenches. I don't
Okay,
care where.
yeah. My word was just get better.
That helps.
I can't even think about the offseason right now, so I pass.
All right, I'll answer this one.
Yeah.
Trenches. All right. And there's a question about how we're going to do that, but the expectation is money has to be used on the offensive line or defensive line. I don't care how you do it. Money or draft picks, obviously, or both. Right. So,
Yeah.
Thank you for the question, though. Let's go to the next one. If Jack can remember what order we're in.
Nice.
Tyler here, Tyler Huseman, with his at here said, who are your top 5 head coach options and why? I will start it off with Jess. Oh,
Whoa.
sorry. I don't know why I clicked that. That was my
Yeah,
bad.
well,
Hey, chill.
let me do
Top
my-
5. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Top 5. One of them's got to be variable, which we just talked about. So I'll let you guys fill in. The
You're not going in order?
No.
Oh, okay.
I said just top 5. I don't know if we have.
Give me your
order,
top
right?
5. No,
Oh, okay.
Put them in order.
Okay, so Ben
doing
Johnson. Ben
Okay.
Johnson.
Cop out.
Liam Cohen. Oh, yeah, it's not going to be yours. Okay. Liam Cohen, offensive coordinator on the Bucks.
Okay.
Thomas Brown, in-house.
Mm.
Mike Vrabel, 4. And then number 5, I'm going to go maybe defensive coordinator of the Lions because he's been really good. Glenn Powell, I would say.
That's the actor.
Glenn Powell is the actor. Glenn Allen.
That would be cool, though.
Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn. Thank you so much.
That would
Oh,
be
wait.
cool.
Glenn Powell's not the Walking Dead. That's
That's someone else too. Yeah. Right?
Twisters or
Yeah,
is
Twister.
That's Glenn Powell.
that right?
Yep.
What the
Yep.
hell?
Yeah,
I
that's
was
Glenn
wrong.
Powell. So there we go. That's my 5. So
Okay.
and Glenn Plowell as
I'll go next.
as a honorary.
Ben Johnson.
Wow, cop out.
Yep. Ben Johnson, Joe Brady.
Okay.
Okay, this is subject to change. Okay, this is 2-game sample size. So if it goes off the rails, he's off the list. But right now, I want to keep him at 3, Thomas Brown, because if it continues how it is,
that's where I put him.
Why not have him in that? He has to be in that top 5 list where you're doing first and second interviews with these guys. So that was number 3. Number 4, Liam Cohen out of Tampa Bay.
Yep, he's balling.
5. Man. Do I go Kellen Moore from Philly?
Oh, no, I didn't like
he's
him
from
in
Dallas, right?
I
don't know. He's kind of cooking. Is it the players? I don't know. I'm gonna stick with.
So you went straight offense.
I'm gonna do Kellen Moore, and Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel are tied for me.
Okay. Jack. All Mike Vrabel. Next question. Let's.
Mike Vrabel is at the bottom. Shanahan won. If anything that is coming out of that is true. Shanahan won.
That's not.
Brady,
I mean, if it does, then yes, he jumps down.
I'm playing it as if best case scenario.
Fair enough. Your list, not mine.
And I think it happens. I think it's possible if he's like, I'm just done with San Fran. Like I got all these old contracts. Yeah, I think San Francisco's not gonna let him go. But it's like if he's like all these contracts, fucking Brock Purdy, I don't believe in him either. I'm not gonna. Chicago's interesting. Let's go. So I love that, Jack.
Thank you.
Yeah. Love it.
So Shanahan, brilliant. Joe Brady, Thomas Brown.
Joe Brady over Ben Johnson?
Ben Johnson's my 4 because I don't want any expectations. So if I keep it low and I swear to God, if I keep telling myself like it is not going to happen, like it'll never.
It's like watching a Bears game.
Then I'm like, okay, he goes to Arizona. Let's say, then whatever. So him at 4, and then Belichick at 5 because that'd be fun to say Bill Belichick's our coach.
I was about to say no one put Belichick on the list. Now he's about 89 years old. He's 89. Dating players the same age as the player, dating women the same age as the players, but he might still have it. Might still have something in there.
Clearly, he still has it.
It's clear.
He has money.
He definitely has that too. So, yeah,
all
good
right.
list.
Next
good
question.
list, though. Let's go to the next one here. Okay, him Simpson. Love the name
I
with
love
at
this
Tom
one.
Ryan.
I love it.
What has Kevin Warren accomplished? And I'm gonna go to Dave first because I know he's excited for this one.
Fucking nothing, man. All we get is stadium updates.
But there's a new one today
stuff.
we didn't talk about. There's a new one this week we didn't talk about.
But it's like, they got all these. What has he done outside of done a few stories about himself and his organization? I don't. For some reason, I'm not buying in. I was all in just because. Now I'm like really like it's been 2 years. What is he doing? Vic, change my mind.
No, 1 year. This is only 1 year, right?
Has it been 1 year?
Yeah, this is the first year.
Okay, maybe
I think right. Am I wrong?
I think it was 2 years. This is the second.
Wow, it's been 2. Oh, so it's going on 2.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. What's he done?
Right, because Poles has been here 3 years and Kevin's been here 2 because Poles wasn't there. Kevin did not come in with Poles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But anyways, what has he done, Vic?
Look, a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we don't have visibility to, so I can't talk on that, right? But from what we have reported or lack thereof, look, I don't have anything,
maybe we could be wrong. 6 months from now, everything could be like
shoveling
everything
dirt.
was working. Everything was working behind the scenes, and then boom, all this comes out like we finally got it. And they
for sure. And I think that's what's gonna happen. And once shovels in dirt, I think the whole narrative changes. Because look, he's doing more than just the stadium. But let's be real, the biggest thing that we know about is the stadium. So as long as that doesn't get progressed, we're just like
annoyed with like all these updates where it's like, oh, they're back here now. They still want it in Chicago. Yeah,
politics. It sucks.
Yeah, that's why I stay.
But you know what? It worked. You know what's so sad though? Like we had to sit here and wait, and we called it. We're like, this is. Well, I said. I can't remember if you guys did, but I'm sure you did. But I was like, this is straight politics. Watch it. They're going to get the taxes down for Arlington Heights, and then they're going to go right back to the land that they just purchased and demolished to build the stadium. And guess what happened this week? Arlington said, hey, look, you're right. We're going to drop all that property tax. Come on back because you're about to build a Jerry world that's going to bring in so much money to Arlington Heights. We're so dumb to not do it. So
yeah, I'm
but
impatient.
we still have to wait. Oh, I agree. This is going to take a minute too, because once shovel's in the dirt, it's going to take at least 2 years to even get up. So
yeah, I'll be okay. Jack, you want to add anything?
Nothing. Next question.
Just like Kevin Warren. He's
Cool.
over it. Let's go to the next one. Our friend Sam here.
Oh,
the
Sam.
Jedi with at S Gradau.
That Avi,
fine.
dude. He's just
delicious. Look at
He's got that. He's even got that little what is that pose? Like I think I've seen
like
that.
it's like upside down hove.
It's like a
It's
power.
almost like the Illuminati underneath. But yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Pull that one back up again because I forgot the question. Okay, so this goes to our, one of the questions earlier. If you're Ryan Poles, which position do you address first with the first round pick? Offensive line or defensive line? And let's add a little juice to it. What position? So if you're going offensive line, what position? If you're going defensive line, what position? Go, Dave. It looks like you're ready to hop on this.
BPA for me, whether it's defensive or offensive line, in my opinion, just because you need help on both ends. But for me, it's so hard. It's like Braxton Jones. I would upgrade him if possible. Have him as depth. Upgrade that left tackle. Right guard, huge issue. But then you need an edge outside of, on the other side of opposite Montez Sweat. I think that's just as important as the offensive line right now, just because they don't have enough juice, in my opinion, to really get there. And I think it's going to help Montez Sweat a lot. Such a hot take, Jack left.
Yeah, he did not agree with that.
No, but yeah, I don't know, man. I would just go BPA on really anywhere outside of. I don't think you need to go right tackle, of course. You don't need center is interesting, but you're not going to draft a center first round.
No.
So I think just BPA at right guard, even left guard potentially with Tevin. If you extend him, I'm not sure. And then left tackle Braxton, I'm not sold on that either. So just however the chips fall, wherever these the Bears end up is going to be key into what kind of quality tackle, what kind of quality defensive end they're going to get. So.
Yes. Right now we're, I think at 13 according to Tankathon. So 13. Yeah. So there's still some good. We have a chance not to get the number one tackle. We won't get that. They'll be gone by then. We could get the second.
You can move
number
up.
One edge. You could move up. Number one edge is still on the board. So for me, I agree, Dave. Best player available is always the way to go. But here's something interesting, right? Let's say, because I think Kelvin Banks from Texas, number one tackle, is going like top 5. He's that good. Will Campbell has an opportunity to fall outside the top 10. He's a tackle at LSU, right? But his length is something of like concern, or which they had with like Tevin Jenkins or some of these tackles you see all the time that go in the first round, and they get bumped to guard. So do you at 13 go with a Will Campbell, bump him over to right guard, re-sign Tevin Jenkins? Now you have Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, whoever your center is going to be. You might draft one free agency. Will Campbell and Darnell Wright. That's a much more solid line. That is one way to look at it. Or do you just go on the other side and get the best defensive end available? Now, Abdul, I just want to name two here. You could get Abdul Carter, probably going a little bit high up there. He's a dog from Penn State. And then James Pierce Jr., who is also, like, those are 2 top 10 picks that could possibly, depending on where our cards lie, where we fall, that would be immediate upgrades. Like projected top 10 picks that are like normally top 10 DNs play out. Like when you get a top 10 DN, they typically they don't normally bust. So
I just think no matter what, they need to address everything, whether if they go defensive end in the first round, like attack that offensive line in free agency as well. Like just attack both trenches at both stages. What, first 3-4 picks, I would go, in the trenches, not even joking. Right. I saw the running back, Ashawn Gentry. Genty. He's interesting. Yeah, he's interesting, though. Dude, he's having a better season than Derrick Henry.
I know.
Wild. I know.
Wild.
I'm just saying, but he might be he legit might be generational.
But, here's the thing, though. It's going to end up how the Bears will work. If you don't have a line to block, you're getting Saquon, like Giants kind of tenure. But if you have a line to block, you get like a Genty, right? Then you get Saquon Eagles, right? So look, running backs are very important, and everyone's talking about these running backs leaving and performing better with their new teams, which they are. But they're on offensive line.
He could fall to he could fall to Chicago.
For sure.
I don't know where I saw that. Anyways, no, trenches, dude. Whatever. I don't care if they need to address both in the draft and free agency, whether it's the defense and offensive side. Because the one thing I want on the offensive line is depth.
Yes.
Coleman Shelton, backup center. I love that.
For
Draft one in the third to
Tates
compete
will
with
still be
Shelton.
here, I think.
Maybe. So good question though. What's the next?
Let's see here. We got Ivy June again here with Coach at Coach Hughes SB. Why didn't we put a blank check in front of Harbaugh? Look, it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. I have no validity behind this, no insider information. I just feel like he did not want to come to Chicago. And if he doesn't want to come, it doesn't matter how much money you give him.
Yeah. I think the Bears also I think they had an ego where they didn't want to deal with his ego per se and his
he would be running
media spectacle that he would bring. But he's an amazing coach. You saw it last night. I mean, I know they lost to Baltimore, a very, very good team, but they're having a good year. I think it is such a disappointment that they didn't even just
at least
entertain the idea.
Yeah.
Let
us down.
Let him know, hey, we actually would want to have you here. You know, what would that look like? What would you do? Let's have a conversation. You know, does it work out in the end? Maybe not, but at least talk to the guy, make him feel welcome. You don't want to burn a bridge. And I feel like they burnt that bridge, but they made it real clear early on in that coaching process that it was not going to happen. And I just don't understand. I don't understand it. So very disappointing. I agree. I thought that was the home run pick to pair with Caleb.
Wanted him.
So
we all wanted him. That's definitely
then it comes one. Then because it's not even Harbaugh, it's his staff. We
talked about it. You get
knows.
the right people. Yeah. People are gonna want to work for Harbaugh. He wins. So
we're Chicago. We need those. I mean, we're a big market, big names. Make it. They should have done it, man. To roll with Flus, disgusting.
Tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
We're eating our own shit now. So okay, we got AKP at AK Padilla _ on Twitter says, I know it's a low chance, but how would you feel if Lincoln Riley wanted to come to the Bears and team up with Caleb again for an NFL job? Look, Lincoln Riley has been with Caleb throughout, and that's great. But if you can't even win at the college level, typically how it works in the NFL, right? If you win at the college level, you get an opportunity to jump to the NFL, right? And then sometimes that doesn't even work, and they go back to the college. But you normally don't see head coaches not winning in college and then jumping to the NFL. First, you don't get that opportunity, and then somehow being good in the NFL. So I say that because Lincoln Riley, sure, he knows how to recruit. He may know how to run offenses, which he does, but they have been under expectation the past 3 seasons compared to like where they were to start the season. By the end of the season, they're not even in bowl. Like they're not even bowl eligible this year. They weren't bowl eligible. I don't think last year they were, but they lost way too many games than what they expected. They were supposed to be like in the top 4. So it's just that I wouldn't have faith that if you can't win in the college level, why would I expect that you'd come to a much more difficult league and be able to win? I don't know.
No, I agree. I think you put that perfectly. I would be shocked.
Yeah, I don't think he's even on the list. I would be surprised. But that's a great question, though, because he does have ties. That's different. That can work.
Like that's why I would have a conversation. Hey, if you're talking Ben Johnson, you know, who are you thinking of bringing in? Would you call the play? Like it's just whoever you bring in, you got to think about the staff that's coming with.
Correct.
So if there's any ties to Lincoln somehow, anyways.
You want to bring in someone that people have faith in because they'll want to work for them. So you're going to get a better pool, a better selection of candidates to fill out the role of your staff. If people don't believe in you, you're not getting the best options, i.e. Shane Waldron. So, all right, let's go here. We got 2 more. We got Aaron on Twitter with @MoreRunSupport said, do we re-sign Keenan? Will Tyler Scott ever get a shot on the field? These are 2 very good questions. First one. Do you think Keenan Allen gets re-signed?
No.
Okay.
Put the money elsewhere.
Depends. There's 2 things. Depends on how the rest of his play is this season. If he continues to have games like he did here, I'm not saying it's past. I'm not saying I would do it, but it's not past the possibility where they're like, look, we don't have to worry about weapons next year. All we have to do is focus on line. We're good. We buy ourselves an extra year.
Then, I just don't even think I don't think you need to. Rome needs more targets. DJ obviously needs a healthy amount of targets. He's too good. You paid him, of course. Cole Kmet needs more targets. So you bring in and to answer Tyler Scott's question, I just don't think they believe in him to be that guy that can beat you over top. And so they need to get one of those guys, which you can get, I think, for a decent price in free agency or even draft one in the third, fourth round. So Keenan's interesting. If the money makes sense.
Oh, he's not, but we know Poles is not going to spend a bag because he hasn't done that yet. So he, even with his core guys, the guys he wants to forever, he's giving out big contracts. They're not crazy spends. So if Keenan's asking a crazy amount, he's not. So if we bring him back, it would be, I would think, respectable. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. The only devil's advocate I would say, I'm not saying I'd bring him back, but there has been no better connection than Keenan Allen and Caleb Williams so far throughout the whole season. Now, it doesn't mean Keenan's made the best plays, but if you look third down or like big plays, who has he targeted almost even the last game? Like if you look at targets per, like most times, especially on third down, have been to Keenan Allen. He trusts him, which is, I mean, it makes sense. He has the best hands, I would say. Rome's second there, but he trusts him as a third down guy. So if you want to build that connection for a second-year quarterback, it's not the worst idea. But I think you nailed it perfectly, Dave. It's all about the price. All about the price. We cannot throw a bag for a 32, 33-year-old wide receiver. No. So, but great question. Oh, yeah, and I don't think Tyler, we believed in Tyler Scott coming out, but it looks like the coaching staff doesn't as of now. That does not mean it can't change. Everyone has different, journeys in the NFL. But as of right now, not the case. Okay, final question here, kind of a double-decker. We got from Brady, which is at Brady Mangseth, said, if it comes down to Thomas Brown, or let's say someone less sexy than Ben Johnson, maybe like Aaron Glenn, I love how the name of who I was thinking is finally here, or Joe Brady, who would you take? And then to add a little spice here, could you even slap on Mike Vrabel, head coach, with Thomas Brown as your offensive coordinator scenario? So if you don't get Ben Johnson, I know we kind of listed it, who would you then be happy with out of that list?
Yeah, I mean, Thomas Brown would be interesting, of course, but Vrabel, I can get it. Wouldn't be sexy, like how Brady just mentioned, but I can really see Chicago potentially falling in love with him and his personality and his leadership, his discipline. So I can see that.
We're talking ourselves into it, but like if you're thinking of the Bears and like the nitty gritty type of.
Either way, it would be better when they hired Flus
for sure,
and coming from Indianapolis.
And there's a good chance Vrabel goes, look, Thomas Brown, like if he sees how because look, he's not coaching right now, so he's getting a good glimpse of the resume.
Thomas Brown could be elsewhere. He could be coaching a young rookie
but
quarterback.
We see
he's already on that list.
We see it every year, though, where even happened to Thomas Brown, we see a lot of these young guys where like they don't get it, maybe their first or second bout, but it's like their third. So
it'll be interesting to see what happens with
Thomas
Brown. And then that's a storyline within itself. So
for sure. As long as he keeps balling out, though, we need to figure out like it's working. So please stay and do what you got to do. But that's it. Thank y'all for the questions. That was fantastic. We'll make sure to try to get through.
We'll do these more often.
Yeah, we'll do these more often. And if you want more, every month we do mailbag private episodes on our Patreon. And that's just our rookie tier, the $3 a month. So you can hop in there and you can ask any question that you want. Dave and I and Jack will hop on and record a pre-recorded one, and we go through and answer them just for you. So just another way to get these to you, get value, make sure you're getting, your fantastic questions are getting shown off, all the great stuff there. So before we head out, also just heads up, if you're wondering why Jack dipped, his internet went out. So just like the Bears could not follow through in the fourth, but he was trying to hop back on, but it is all good. We are going to do our shout outs here though. If there's any more predictions, we will be on our road. Doesn't look like it. I'm going to go through the ones that we have now. And look, right before we go, if you can get them in quick, we'll make sure to give you a shout out for the OG, hashtag OG. And for new people watching for the first time, hashtag New Face Gang. Also, shout out to our Spotify, Apple, and other podcast listeners, wherever you get your podcasts. We really do appreciate y'all. If you give us a like and review, 5 stars, please. Much appreciated. If you don't give us a 5-star, that kind of sucks. But at least let us know so we can improve the show for y'all and keep bringing value. So going through these, we got Devin McGovern here on YouTube with a hashtag OG. Appreciate that, Devin. We got Cody Malachi with a hashtag OG Bear Down. We appreciate that. With our OG member and our Patreon member, Alex Hamilton, hashtag OG. Been a minute since I've been able to get on stream, but what are the odds we fire Flus after the game and Ben Johnson walks to our sideline to introduce himself to the team? Look, we kind of talked about this earlier, Alex, but it's probably not going to happen. But look, you get stomped out here. Like, if you fire Flus, you'd be like, hey, Ben Johnson, this is your job. Like, that's a perfect statement, but it probably won't happen. And then we got Vizzy Joe here with the hashtag OG and then the Kendrick reference. Mustard. So that's funny.
It's funny.
We got Amphiris. Oh, God, I keep messing that up. You got to let us know how to pronounce that because I am butchering that. Hashtag OG here on YouTube. Fire Flus on Monday. Bears lose 37-27. That's kind of near us. Sad face bear down. We'll take that. We got hashtag OG. Great show. Bears 21, Lions 37. This is Michael, our Hall of Fame Grizzly tier member across the pond. Thank you for watching.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. And then the final one here, we got Jason Courtwright with the hashtag OG. Enjoy Eberlus's last game. Actually, we got a couple more that just came through. We'll just do it. I know Michael just gave out yours, but we give you another hashtag OG. We really do appreciate that. Impero, who's in here all the time with the hashtag OG. Appreciate it, Impero. Eduardo Garcia says hashtag OG. The Chiefs offensive coordinator needs to be in the conversation. Are you talking about Matt Nagy? All right. We love that. And then again with Impero here with the hashtag OG, not Monday. Fire him at halftime. What, bring him on during the halftime show because they always do one for Thanksgiving. Put him right there, fire him on the spot, throw him on the stage and kick him off. So, yeah, this is funny. Phil with the Eduardo calling him out. So that's hilarious. So thank y'all for the comments today. You guys are hilarious. We love the OGs in here. We love the new face gang in here as well. If this is your first time, we do appreciate it. We will be live, a different schedule this week since it is on Thanksgiving. We're planning on going live 10:30 CST on Friday, the day after. So we'll let you guys enjoy Turkey Day. Enjoy time.
Get your coffee Friday morning.
An early one.
We'll talk some Bears.
Or get your liquor if it's a horrible one. Whatever it is, get your drinking concoction because it's going to be a good one. So
absolutely.
I think that is it. Anything else, Dave, that you got?
Nope. If you're still here, leave a like. We'll see you after Thanksgiving.
Sounds good. Peace.